This is my Ruger 1022, and with the heavy bull barrel, my target rifle, and it needs to be cleaned. I've been putting it off a while, but it's now, you could barely shoot the thing. When you fire around, it malfunctions because what happened is the barrel, especially the throat, the breech area, it's let it up. That's what happens when you shoot a lot of these. Let me turn the light on. Yeah, like I said, that's what happens when you shoot a lot of these. These are non-jacketed, non-plated lead bullets. They're real soft. I can actually indent that with my fingernail. The plus side with these are extremely inexpensive, and they seem to grab the rifling a little bit better. But other than that, they will lead the crap out of your barrel. So what happens is when you load around and you pull the trigger, the case actually gets stuck in there because of all the lead that's in there. It's real sticky. Anyone that's touched lead a lot, you know, eventually your hand turns that dark gray color and it feels kind of sticky. So time to, right there, you got to pull that screw out. I mean, I could clean it without taking the action out of the stock, but you could get into it much deeper by taking the action out of the stock. But you just pull that screw right there. All right, I'm gonna see if I could do this with one hand. What you want to do is loosen this screw up. That screw right there. Loosen that screw up. It's not gonna come out. So what you're gonna do is loosen it up until it's out of the action, but it's gonna stay in the stock. That way you don't lose the screw. Just loosen it all the way up. See, it's loose. Then you flip the rifle upside down. Of course, you make sure it's clear. I shouldn't have to tell you that. The safety right here, you push it until it's centered, until equal amounts are shown on each side. And once that's done, the action will pop out front first, see, of the stock, and it pulls out. And there it is. I almost dropped the damn thing. All right, there it is. The action is out of the stock. And to get the bolt out, right there, that pushes out. And it allows the bolt to come back forward. Also, one of my pins fell out, but there's two pins, similar to an AR-15. There's two pins, one there and one there, and the trigger mechanism will pop. But you push that out. If you have a factory 1022, this is going to be metal. Mine is polymer. This is the buffer that when you fire and the bolt comes back, it doesn't hit metal to metal. Mine is metal to polymer. Just gives it it shoots a little bit smoother. That's a modification I made years ago, among other things. But yeah, once that is out, this will be able to come back further. And I think it's been a while. Let me push that out real fast. I started it with the end of the brush. I just used the hard part right there to push it from the other side. To push it from here. And once I got it started, nope, the pin fell out again. This pin does not want to stay in there. Anyway, this comes out. Doing this with one hand. See, this is my polymer one. And they last. This thing has been in here, shoot, forever. As soon as I got this rifle, which was years ago, 2009 is when I got this rifle. I put that in. I ordered a bunch of parts, and that's one of the things I did. We're gonna pull the trigger group out. Just like the AR, you got two pins. One, two. And this just pulls out. If you want to get an upgraded trigger group, you could just buy the trigger group, unpin it, pull out your old one, pin your new one in. That's simple. All right, that's out. There it is. It's starting to go up now. Yeah, I need two hands for this. Once you pull it back all the way, once it's past a certain point, it can tilt up. When it tilts up, the charging handle, it comes loose, comes free of the charging handle, and there's your charging handle and your recoil spring. So now I could get that doggone stuck case out, clean that out. Look at that, is nasty. And clean up the bolt and clean the barrel. That is gross. My wife gonna kill me. I dirtied up the cushion. I'll wash it before she gets home. But yeah, let's clean that up. That's how you get this apart. It's not hard at all. Just need a flathead screwdriver for that screw right there. Real simple. All right, I should be ashamed of myself. This thing was filthy. This is just one of the. This is just a napkin that I rested the bolt on after I sprayed it down. But there's a lot of the cleaning squares, and this one is clean compared to the ones I already threw in the trash. But it was filthy. Putting it back together is opposite of taking it back apart. I already got the charging handle in the recoil spring. Well, recoil spring and charging handle assembly is back in. The trigger group is back in. I'm about to put the action back into the stock. Put the action into the stock. You put the rear in first. See this little hook right here? It hooks in the back of the stock. Even the factory one is the same way. It hooks into the back of the stock. Like it goes in like that, and then you bring the front down and you tighten your screw. And again, make sure select the switch to safety. Make sure it's centered. You want equal amounts sticking out on each side. See, this one won't go in, so you gotta push it until it's equal amounts on each side. That way it could clear and go into the stock. If you're gonna be doing this type of stuff, you're gonna need a torque screwdriver, torque wrench screwdriver, whatever you call it. Of course, in inch pounds. I like to set my Ruger to 22 inch pounds. Again, I said this before in one of my past videos. It's a 22 caliber, so 22 inch pound, easy to remember. There's a range, there's a low and a high end number that you should go over, and a number that you should never go over. But again, 22 is a nice number that I like to use. So I'm about to torque this down. All right, and that's it. It's nice and clean. I wiped it down with my silicone cloth. Yeah, I put that in there so that the cleaning oils and so forth didn't get in the lens. I think I got some caps for that thing. I need to find them. But now to put it back in the safe. Eventually, I need to stop shooting these things, these non-jacketed rounds, non-plated rounds. But I got a crap load of them, so it's a lot of shooting. So once I finish shooting these out, I'm going with the plated rounds. I got a bunch of the ones that are plated with that black stuff. I think it's Winchester that makes them. They don't let up the barrel as bad. And I'll either be shooting that or plated or jacketed rounds from moving forward once these are finished. But in any event, that's how you break down the Ruger 1022. Almost all of them break down the exact same way. I don't know if any that breaks down any different than that. You just pull the screw in the foregrip, loosen that screw, and the barrel side tilts up, and you just pull it out after you center the safety switch.